Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for hosting us, our friends over here in downtown in New York. And we excited to share with you that there's in the teaching, in the Kabbalistic teaching, there are two types of there's two and two. Let me split it correctly. One is that there are lessons that sometimes you study and it's good. It's enter and maybe you need some refreshing understanding later on, a little bit here, a little bit there. But there are teaching that in order to get them, you need to repeat them and study them deeply almost every day or every week. Okay? So there are a fundamental that you need to increase. It's like, the main bones of your body. And there's the ligaments and there's many different segments and all kind of muscles that, you have to work every day, of course, or every week. But it's not the core of everything, right? It's all connected. It's all needed. So one of the beautiful lessons that we have this week is something to remember every year. And every year I come into this section, I want to make sure everybody get that. And every time we're going to remember that, it's a reactivation of that lessons and the light and the secret and the light that is concealed within those secrets. So I'm going to share with you these ideas. I spoke a little bit about, about that idea of, I'm not sure if I spoke about it last week or not, but the two different school of thoughts that exist around. I'm not sure I said it. Did I say it last week or no? I'm not sure. No, I didn't speak about it probably. So there is a reality that obviously Kabbalah speaks about it. Many other different belief systems speaks about it. That everything is here, everything exists right now, right here, and in full and total capacity. That's one truth. That they say you just need to reduce the noise, the interruptions, and to connect to what it is. That's beautiful. But there's another school or training, right? That tells you aim for something, visualize something, right? You have to visualize where you want to be, or visualize your soulmate, and visualize this and that, and dream board and all of that. And don't be busy with the details. Don't get stuck in the details. So this is the two ways that a lot of people living by that. The Kabbalistic way, it's both. It has to be both, which the unification, which we call the three ways, right? I need to have a vision where I'm going. I need to have the imagination of how I see myself or how I see the results already there. Let's say a money goal or relationship goal or whatever it is. But you also, like I spoke many times about the GPS, right? You tell your Waze, I want to go to somewhere. He asks you where you at. So you have to work on reduce the noise where you at right now, because the image of what exists over there, it's right here. So you have to have both, right? But the work is the combination. Some people, I put it out there and do nothing. Some people do a lot, but have no big picture, okay? So it's related to this week. That's why it's important to awaken that and see how it works in our life. So again, the Kabbalistic way is all the three ways together. That's what we call in Kabbalah the three-column system, right? It's like how the light operates. You have the plus, you have the minus, and the filament in the lamp, in the light bulb, right? That's how electricity, that's how everything works. So therefore, if we operate this way, you're going to bring, or you can realize many things much quicker. Because, if your light is off in the house, right? technically you can't see much. Not to say that if you turn on the light, it takes an instant. But to fix things around, probably it's going to take some time. But at least you're going to see you with your eyes open. So our job is to work with that system and turn on the light every day in our life. This week, we go to the Torah, we go to, obviously, again, today someone sent me something, I forget, the pi, the calculation of a pi. The word Torah is exact pi. The word Torah represents all the totality of all again, there's a lot of calculation goes into it, but it shows you how the word Torah, the way it's been written, numerical value of that, and again, with additions and so forth, you're going to learn how to do it, but that encapsulates all mathematics or systems that exist in this world, right? That encapsulated with this word Torah. Again, not to go into that, it's too complicated. That's why as soon as I start seeing it, I said, no, I'm not going to go into math right now, and it's going to be very confusing. But look into that. We know the Torah is not a religious artifact or historical document. If we just one thing able to accomplish today is that to remove the idea of religion from the actual what Torah means. Torah, Bible, okay? It's a path. The word Torah comes from the word hora'ah. It's a path. It's a direction. It's a tool. It never meant to be a religious or ceremonial or just historic things, or a story that we're telling ourselves to live by. A lot of people demeaning what it is. Yeah, some people don't have intelligence, that they need some story to guide by. The most sophisticated individual in this world, if he's just going to enter to the Torah and understand the wisdom within it, to understand how wise and how he's so connected, it's just unbelievable to see it. But of course, it's going to be open for those of us who are interested to see. This week, in this week's portion, in this week's story, Moses is about to get to the land of Israel. Obviously, the Israelites with Moses traveling in the desert. Now they're getting closer to Israel. So Moses takes all the leaders of the tribes, right? The most wisest, talented people, and send them before to check the land, to tour the land of Israel before they bring everybody in. And he asked them, go to the land of Israel and tour the land, right? Tour, meaning be a tourist. Check what it is. Check what's going on there. Go see what's happening, what's not happening, who sits there, who's not, right? Obviously, that's the literal story, what we call the 1% story, the actual story. The message is completely different. So the story goes that they went to the land of Israel, right? And they came back with a very, very bad report. Very bad. To the degree that they actually got such a bad report that everybody else wanted to kill Moses from bringing them for 40 years in the desert, or whatever years, the years are up until then, to a land that there's like giants and monsters and bad situation, right? That's the literal story, right? Interesting enough, when they say he sent the people to tour the land, to tour, which is like a tourist, and when they came back, he says the word spies. They came back as a spy. The spies came back. Obviously, for those of us who are reading it this way for many, many years, our eyes is our ears is not that filtered in a way to hear it, and many people skip it. They don't even know. They call it the time of the spies. Obviously, there's many different reasons and many different layers in that story, but just that fact. And that's gift that I want all of us every year when we come into this idea. I'll share with you different reasons, but at different levels. But tourist versus spy. One of my favorite lessons, right? I mean, if you live in New York, you probably know that the tourists here, you can recognize them from far away, right? You know what I'm talking about? Tourists, you know them. You even move to anybody will, sometimes everybody tells me, oh, how is the, to go to the Times Square. Anybody goes to Times Square? It's like when I used to live in Vegas, they told me, oh, probably all day long in the strip, in the, in the hotels. I didn't have the chance even to get there, maybe once in a while, or if good restaurants, but who goes there? It's crazy, right? When you live in New York, you would never even think to go closer to the tourists, right? You see them, you like move to the other side, you see them, the camera, the hat, the sandals, the shorts, right? The ticket for the red bus, the stuff like that. Exactly, right? It's exactly, So, but what is the idea? It's such an idea that we always fall into it, Ask yourself, you wake up in the morning, are you a tourist or are you a spy? What are you going to be today? What is tourist is doing? What is tourist looking for? Right? Tourist looking for the new attraction, the new thing, to explore, to research, to be curious, like really excited, waking up 6 o'clock to be here in the first ferry to the Statue of Liberty, right? Have you seen those lines over there? Right? Crazy. Who's gonna go? My kids ask me, Dad, let's go to the Statue of Liberty. I say, I'm gonna take you and show it to you from far away. I'm not standing in that line. Anyway, so obviously, you see them, they excited, 6 o'clock, oh, on the go, bam, 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 eating here, exploring there all the time, right? They even you shovel them in somewhere. Yes, thank you so much. They're standing in line. Yes, thank you. The sun is beating on their head. Yes, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be in New York. To take New Yorkers, all spies. What is spy mentality? What's wrong? Who's bad? Who should be aware of? Who should be careful? I should be careful of this. I should be aware of that. I shouldn't get closer to this. I shouldn't be this wrong. This is bad. It's gone. I'm out of it. I can't stand the city. You leave the town and then you come back. Oh, I love New York. I want to come back home. And then you're in New York and you can't stand it. And you leave and I want to go back. Right? Spy mentality is always fluctuate between I'm okay, like this the source of a spy is what's wrong, where can I gain more control, where can I manipulate to my ways. That's the spy mentality. So now we understand these two types of ways of living my life. Either I'm a spy or I'm a tourist, right? So for example, what is the big picture of the idea of sending spies, right? Or sending people? Moses sending those people, very highly spiritual people, to check what exists in that land beyond the physicality that you see. Beyond, I want you to show me the blessings there. Show me something that not everybody can see. That was the intention of sending them, to see something beyond the logic. Because if I need the logic, I send a photographer to take picture. I don't need that. I need people to show me what it or what type of an opportunity exists beyond the logic, beyond the senses. Like us, we all sending spies, right? For example, you know, if you have a friend, let's say you want to go to a spa of sort, right? So you have a spies, call it reviews, right? You call the reviews, right? Then you go first of all to the worst spy, they give 1 star, right? Never go there, da, da, da. And then you go to the 5 and says what they write. Oh, this is too extreme, you know. And then you calculate, right? And it's like, okay, you know, let me go with the 3. Seems like more. I'm going to give it a shot, right? Or you go on, you know, a friend of yours introduce you to somebody, right? There are your spy. Tell me, you know, what does she like, what they like, you know, all kind of like in dating is happening all the time. You're sending spies, right? But usually your friends that introduce you to somebody is only a tourist. It's amazing, you know, the most amazing person, right? And then you go on a date and it's like, okay, you know, why? Because you came as a spy. I don't believe this is like such an amazing guy or girl or they, whatever you want to call them, right? So we coming up awaken a spy, right? We're always starting as a spy. The key is not to be naive or oblivion or like, oh, wow, yeah, I wonder. To be with your head on the shoulder, but to be in a way of mostly leaning towards the idea of a tourist mentality, which means our body, you have to know, our body always sending spies. Why? Where can I gain more comfort? The body, if there is any pleasure, yes, sign me up. But if anybody will tell you, come, there's going to be an amazing, uncomfortable event. Anybody wants to go to, it's going to be tremendously amazing, uncomfortable place to be. Anybody? Yes, I love being uncomfortable, right? Your body by itself will repel, and you're going to come up with excuses right away. Because my spies, which is the body consciousness, always will be leaning towards comfort, pleasure, and less, you know, less problems, right? Less difficulty, easy, right? Obviously, you look at tourists so busy all day long, want to explore every single moment. Imagine if you have the ability to be as, you know, as explorer, someone who really explore everything, or someone who is really, for example, you know, my teacher taught us, if you're already doing something, would you like to receive 10, 20, 30% influence from that, or you want 100% influence? A lot of us, you know, even now, I come to class, I study today, I want 100% influence of that light to influence my life. If I'm eating, you know, let's say, for example, you go to vacation, people paying so much money, go to vacation. Would anybody will go to a vacation knowingly they're only going to get 10% influence by that? No. I want everything. I want 100% of the pleasure. And usually it doesn't happen, right? So one of the things that we need to at least change is send the people, the spy you call them, to check where can I influence more. That should be the first consciousness you should gain. If I'm sending, what do you mean sending? When you check not where you gain comfort, not when it's going to be so easy for you. Check where can I influence more there. Is there any person out there that I can influence? You know, give me one person I can influence. At least, can I touch one individual's heart? Great. Let me see it. That should be, if I go somewhere, if I want to be engaged in something, or let's say you go on a date, or you go in a meeting, or you go in a vacation, who cares about anything else besides please, I want to see if I can influence someone there. Everything else will be there. But when I go for the spy mentality, which means, where's my comfort? Oh, it's going to be so much pleasure for me, and I'm going to drink all day long from the moment I'm going to drink this, and the evening I'm going to drink that, and at night we're going to drink that, and we're going to eat in this restaurant, all pleasure. Try to change it up. And the change it up is, I want to see anywhere I'm going, where, please show me how, where, and who I can influence with a little bit more love, with a little bit more sharing, a little bit more experience, a little bit more opening, a little bit more that. And the rest is already covered. But when you go for that, right, the mentality of a spy, you get nothing. So just reminding you, if you're already doing something, a key success to receive 100% or at least 50% more of what you're about to receive, please insert that consciousness. I'm not going for me. I'm going because I can influence. Somehow the universe sent me there because I can influence in that moment. I can influence in that particular spot. Another thing that is important to recognize, sometimes we start as tourists and we transform to become a spy, right? We see the good in relationship, right? Relationship is very, very good. Most of us falling in love immediately, like, wow, I see the good, I see that, I see it's great, it's great, it's great, it's great. And then, yeah, it doesn't work for me. Why? Very simple. I see a lot of that happening. A lot of people starting relationship, they see only the good of the other person and they love it, right? And then they call it, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. They start looking at the bad. They start seeing the bad about the other person, how lazy they are, how they don't return calls, how their vacation was more important than being with me, and how that. All of a sudden they start seeing residues or even inclinations of something wrong. And then they become spy and then start speaking bad, right? Spy, speaking bad. That's what happened. They went to the land of Israel, they went back and they just spoke so bad about whoever sent them there. What converts or change or transform us to become spy right away? The opposition, the dichotomy. What does it mean? The complete opposite is what makes us feel a spy. Let's understand it. Anybody likes cold or hot? Warm or cold, right? I can only appreciate warm when I experience cold. But if I only gonna experience cold, how can I get warmer? Right? I want to experience the other side of the one. So anytime, try imagine you go to the shower and you open the hot water. Is it hot water comes out or cold comes out? First cold. Do you love going there? No, we're just touching it. We're just like with the fingers or with your toenail, right? Or unless it's boiling, steamy in the room, I'm not going, right? So we already know. We already know what serves us. We already know how to make ourselves comfortable. I experience something cold? No, it seems wrong. I want, right? Anybody like to eat salt? Like that? Take a spoon? No, it's so bad. But you learn, you put it on a steak. It's, wow, it's better. Or on a salad, it's very good, for the vegan, right? So in a way, what is the opposition? Something that I don't like, I call it wrong. But it's not wrong, it's not bad, right? So for example, every time I'm experiencing discomfort, right away I want to run away from that to go to a comfortable place. And that is when you become spy. That's exactly what's happening. Any discomfort will get you repelled, will get you run away immediately. And this is something that I would love us to change or to work on at least. Which means every time you don't get what you want, right? How do you react? How do you respond? Oh, I don't like it. Immediately become a spy. I know why I didn't get it. It's because of them, and these people give me the evil eye, and those people curse, and all those people are this, and those people are jealous, and all kind of reasons why we didn't get. But it wasn't about getting something. It's about testing you. Are you going to stay in a tourist mentality, or you're going to be running away right away to the spy mentality? Every time something is the opposite, if someone disagree with you, you call them very bad people. Right away, anyone who disagree with you, right away, the translation is, let me find a way to get out of these people. Spy mentality, right away. So please remember that the force that you have is to, first of all, you want to awaken this week because it's available cosmically, to really ingrain or really cement the consciousness of tourist. Consciousness of tourist is a fresh consciousness. Is a consciousness that's not scared when things become difficult. He's not running away when something is against me, when someone disagree with me. When you hear rejection, what's happening to you? I'm excited. When you come to a place and there's a line, I'm done. I'm not waiting, right? Or you can be Israeli, cut the line, right? No, don't do that. Used to be Israeli. But it's not something bad if it's resisting you, if it's rejecting you. It's not something bad. It's a force that you need, but it comes in an opposite way. When I repel and I become a spy, you put that force in dormant. For example, here you had an opportunity to gain more patience. Here you opportunity to gain more strength, more beauty, more communication, more and more and more. But as soon as like someone says, no, I disagree with you, okay, I'm done, I'm checked out. Don't. I know I need this, whatever that person is pushing me or resisting to me, or the rejection that I get right now, I know I need it exactly. I need that force. So running away from that to a spy mentality, you don't gain anything. The next thing is, which is very, very beautiful, is the idea of consciousness of the spy. Is if you said the word meraglim is spies, it's the same word, and again, it's a secretly word that is available here, is hergelim, which is habits. The word meraglim and hergelim is almost on the same, it's called the same root, right? Which is hergel, which is habits, right? When a person is making themselves used to, right? So for example, when you are going on a date, right? You're starting a new job. What are you trying to do? You're trying to be getting used to the people, getting used to things, getting used to the connection, get familiar with that, right? But really, it's the worst thing you can do for yourself. Why? Because most of people, when they start, let's say, a corporate work or whatever, a job, a lot of people today, looking, they're afraid to burn out and all of that. So they're looking to do less or even to do more in periodic or, let's see how I can get by. A lot of the consciousness in the world is getting by. Why? A lot of people, again, if you're in business and you need you need a certain I don't know, a liquor license, for example. You would have to work through a specific standard and a lot of rules and regulations, right? So you would have to do it. Oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I need a permit here, I need a permit there. There's a lot of regulation there, so you cannot skip. But a lot of things that we do in the way we do things, it's just getting by. The spiritual work that you do, it's getting by. The communication between people, it's just to get by. And that's become a habit, an habitual behavior of what? Being mediocre and not ruffling the feathers or shaking the boat, right? Making waves. No, I don't want to bother anybody. And we get used to live life between the drops. Not to interfere, not to, affect somebody. My friend, most of us getting used to see what we equip to see. And every time we start seeing something and we not yet got in the habit of seeing, we get annoyed, we get upset, and we get the spy again. So again, if you are in the habit of doing things that are serving you, right? Anything that you're not gonna get, you're gonna fall into complaining. And complaining, it's a very deadly force. Deadly to your spirit, deadly to the relationship, deadly to blessings. It's deadly force. I'm not saying, God forbid, physical death, but it's killing the situation. It's killing, it's like you by yourself, you slaughter by complaining. How many of you complain about a girlfriend or an old boyfriend or whoever it is that you are in relationship with, or an old boss? A lot of people, right? Because we think it's going to make us feel good or look good, right? Oh, no, they were so bad and so much in their ego and all of that. I was so righteous, Please stop the habit of complaining when you're not really getting closer to what you thought is going to be. Again, if we can, how many people say, stop complaining, it's not nice. You have the benefit of not complaining because it's killing the relationship, the blessings and continuity, right? It's meant, tluna, in Hebrew, tluna is from the word lena, which is sleeping, right? Lena, talin, which was sleep, go to sleep. Meaning when you complain, right, is meaning you're not really interested to wake up. What made you complain? Things that didn't go according to your plan. Because what do you mean no plan? According to how I used to, how I'm used to doing things this way. Look at your habits and see if you can change those habits, and see how difficult it is to change those habits. Habits are just serving you. Okay? So every complaint from today, this is how we catching the wrong habits. Okay? When you recognize that you are complaining about something, you need to know it's a secret. It's a secret. But I complain, it's bad. No, if you didn't hear your complaint, it's really wrong. But if you heard your complaint and you really track it, every complaint meant to curve within you a new force, a new way of communication, a new type of people, new type of solution. But because you complain, you shut down that mind. That's what it is. So imagine there's a mine, that gold mine. It tells you, go over there, but it's so hard. I'm used to just, slide in. I don't want to break through the walls. You're crazy? That complaint? You complain about that? I gave you an access to a gold mine. But the complaint shut down all the access to all different curving within you, opening within you, gates to invite so much greater and greater consciousness and intelligence. So again, how do I know I failed to aspire? How do I know that my habits controlling me? Is if you listen to the complaint, you would know the secret. This is the complaint is the shutdown of that force in your life. So what I would suggest is to start living in the habits of, first of all, future actions, or actions that are, for example, I shared earlier, when Abraham went to the land of Egypt, right? He went down to Egypt many, many years before Moses and all that story. And it was mentioned that he planted trees on the way. Why? Because he knew that 400 years later, the Israelites will be needing those particular trees to build what we call the tabernacle and for the holy temple. That's insane to think like that, right? Most of us, why should I do something that people will use in 400 years? I'm not going to be alive. I'm not going to see it. They're not going to write down my name on a plaque, right? So why should I do it? What's benefiting me today, that's what I'm going to do. Change that habit. Start thinking in a way that I want to plant seed. I want to create a reality that my children will be able to really be secure and connected to a tremendous gifts or something. People building a relationship. When you start a relationship with somebody, if you don't think I want to start a relationship with that individual forever, ever, who wants to be with that person forever? What if they are crazy? They will go away by themselves. But you should be in an endless. Start getting in the habit of endless vessel. Start getting in the habit of actions that you free the agenda from them. Start taking action like that. Free. Do it and let go. Start in the actions. Start to be in the habit of giving people love without condition. Try. Start in the habits. Start in the habits of giving. First, give. Give a smile. Start in the habits of giving a smile. How is it difficult? Why is it so difficult, right? Because we're not getting used to it. Start in the habits of happiness. I'm not happy. Inject happiness. You're going to be happy. You know when you are not happy? When you said, I'm not happy. That's the moment that you're not happy. What's the acknowledgement, right? Starting the habit of listening first. Create a habit. This is habits that create a proactive individual. Starting the habits of connecting people without the need of taking a toll in the middle, or like, hey, don't forget me in the deal, okay? Starting the habit of connecting people to a community. Why not? Or connecting people to their gifts, or find the ways to push people to their next level. Starting the habit. Be in the habit of study Kabbalah every week. Not like fluctuate once a month. For you, this habit, you can use it after. It's a great muscle to have. And the most important part is being in the habit of being a tourist. Being a tourist. That's the beautiful, beautiful gift that we all can receive this week. There's 6, 7 more different points, but we're going to end up here. But remember, also another thing, the last one which comes to mind is Moses sent his most trusted people. Of all the 600,000 people, he chose the most trusted people to do this work. And what happened? They came back and wanted to kill him, actually, right? So obviously, Ask yourself, can you be trusted? Are you a person who goes all the way? Are you a person, right, that have the discipline or put himself in the habit of all the lists that we just mentioned? There's many beautiful habits that you can create. And by these habits, you can protect yourself from not falling to be a spy. So anyway, that's beautiful few gifts I wanted to share with you. There's many, many more this week, but let's keep it simple and connected to this week. Thank you for being here, sharing with us. Please share this, help us spread this wisdom, and see you next week.